okay? Because, pretty black skin face in the top 10, you know what I mean? I mean, it's giving. We don't really have to say much, hey, it's giving, hey, it's giving, hey, it's giving, hey, it's giving, hey, the face giving, hey, the face giving, hey, the face giving, hey, the face giving, hey, the body giving, hey, the body giving, hey, the body giving, hey, the body giving, hey. Okay, let me stop because you know me, I'm gonna just keep hyping myself up. So let's just get into the video, okay? Welcome to the Barbie Life 2.0 podcast. I'm your host, Shakira, aka Barbie 2.0. And today I will be giving you guys a story time. And this story time is going to be about my ex-white friend who only became friends with me so she could use me as her token black girl. Okay? And I'm not going to lie, this story is wild. So let's just get right into it, okay? So me and this girl actually became friends in high school. And for those of you who are unaware, I went to a predominantly white high school and it was a really racist high school, okay? So just to paint a picture for you, I was dealing with racist white people and black people who were coons. So it was really hard for me to make friends. So at the time, I would just jump at any opportunity to be friends with anybody that would start a conversation with me. But when I first got to the school, me and Mia were actually not that close at all. We would pass each other in the hallways here and there, but we weren't close friends or anything like that. And during this time when we weren't that close, she was a suburban white girl. She was from the suburbs, first of all. And she was just very typical Starbucksy, suburban rich valley white girl type vibe. And she only really associated with white people at the school at this time, okay? Until one day, Mia got a black boyfriend. And once Mia got a black boyfriend, this girl started becoming friends with all the black people at our school. And she started talking to me a lot more. And at the time, I was just not self-aware of the fact that, okay, maybe she's, only talking to me because she's trying to, use me as a token black friend. That wasn't going through my head at the time because I was new to the school. So I was just jumping at any opportunity to make a new friend. So as soon as she got this black boyfriend, she literally changed her whole entire aesthetic and her whole entire attitude, okay? She went from only talking to white people at the school to now associating with myself and other black girls at the school. And she even changed the way she talked. She went from talking like a typical white girl to using AAVE and basically talking like a hot Cheeto girl, for real. She even changed the way she dressed. She was dressing like the basic white girls that they'll wear Lululemon or just legging, typical, the basic stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Typical suburban white girl style. She used to wear stuff like that. And then when she got her black boyfriend, she started wearing Fashion Nova outfits. And we all know Fashion Nova is predominantly popular in the black community. So it was just very weird because it was just as soon as she got this black boyfriend, she just totally changed into cosplaying a black woman, pretty much, okay? And this is where the story gets even weirder, okay? I'm just going to give you a few instances of the red flags that this girl was putting off throughout our friendship, okay? The first instance was this girl would do everything in her power to remind people that she was not white. She was Cuban. Oh my gosh. This girl hated when people called her a white girl, literally. And I remember one time we were in the hallway and somebody made a comment to her and they told her you got a fat ass for a white girl, because she did. She had a huge ass, a huge natural ass, very, very big. So somebody told her you got a huge ass for a white girl. And I kid you not, I never seen somebody look so mad. Like, you know when white people get mad and their face get red? This girl's face got red. This girl was so, like, I've never seen somebody be so offended. Like, she was so offended that this man called her a white girl. She literally turned around and she was like, I'm not white. I'm Cuban. My mom is 50% Cuban. Like, I'm Cuban. And I'm just like, looking back, I'm like, girl, like, there's a difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality. Okay? Like, you can be Cuban and be white. Like, you can be Latino and be white. Okay? Like, I don't understand. Like, it was so weird. And I noticed that she would only do that when she had this black boyfriend. Before, she was fine embracing her whiteness. But then as soon as she got this black boyfriend, all of a sudden it's, I'm Cuban. I'm Cuban. Don't call me white. I'm Cuban. And I was just like, damn, girl. I mean, okay. Like, you're Cuban. Like, damn. And another thing she would do is she would always borrow my clothes and she would take credit for my drip. And it was so weird. And I felt like she was borrowing my clothes so she could be close in proximity to blackness as much as she could. And she would literally walk around with my clothes. And when people would compliment her on her outfit, she would act like it was hers. Literally. Like, and one thing about me, I can dress. Like, if y'all don't follow me on Instagram, you should. My Instagram is the Barbie 2.0 with 2 E's. Okay. But one thing about me, when y'all see me, like, even when I go to work in the office every single day, like, I can dress. I know how to dress. Okay. So she would always ask me to borrow my clothes. Like, I would walk into school with a specific outfit on and she would be like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Can you give it to me at the end of the day so I could wear it to school tomorrow? And I'm like, okay. And I would just give it to her. And then when she would wear it to school, so many people would compliment her. And she would just take credit for the drip. Like, she would be like, oh, yeah, you know, I'd be putting that shit on. Like, acting like it was hers. And I'm like, okay. And it made me kind of frustrated because when I would wear those clothes, nobody complimented me. But when she would wear it, everybody was complimenting her. And obviously, she did not look better than me in the clothes. I mean, come on. Like, I'm a whole model. But in a racist PWI, they're going to hype up the white girl with the fat ass compared to the dark-skinned girl who's very skinny. So, whatever.
Girl, the shade of it all.
And she would even ask me to borrow money so that she could pay for gas or so she could help her boyfriend out with stuff. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you going so crazy to date a black man, but you can't call your black man when you need some financial stability. It's a little bit weird. But one thing about it, I always say this. Black men that date non-black women, they're dusties and they're broke. And they date those non-black women because they know them non-black women are already excited about the fact that they're just black. And they don't require anything else out of that black man besides him being black. And them non-black women, sometimes they will be a sugar mama to these black men. Like, they will be paying their rent, be paying their car note, be paying for school for them. Like, I kid you not, you know. So, like, this girl, she would always ask me to borrow money, like, every single week. And she would literally either give it to her boyfriend or use it for her gas. And I was just like, that's so weird, but whatever. And there was actually a situation where one time there was this white kid at my school, okay? And this white kid, he literally would try to cosplay as a black hood rapper. Like, he would wear like heavy chains and sag his pants, and he would always say the N-word, like, a lot, okay? And it was normal in my school for white people to say the N-word, like, very normal. And it was so normal to the point where I looked like the crazy one because I was the only black girl checking people for saying the N-word. Nobody else would say anything but me, to the point where I looked like I was overreacting and I was doing too much. But this man, he comes over to our lunch table when me and Mia are talking, and he's just saying the N-word repeatedly. Just going on and on and on and on. And Mia does not check him. She does not say anything. She just lets him say it. And she's just talking to him mid-conversation like everything is cool. And I'm looking at Mia like, girl, you're not going to say anything? Like, you're not going to say anything? Like, this man is just saying the N-word. Like, you're not going to say anything? And I didn't say anything at the time, but I did go to her privately afterwards. And I was just like, hey, girl, like, it kind of made me uncomfortable at lunch because, you know, this guy is a whole white man and you're talking to him and you're cool with him and he's saying the N-word. And it's just weird because it's like, I'm supposed to be one of your closest friends and I'm black and you have a whole black boyfriend. Like, I'm confused. And you want to know what her response was? This girl was just like, no, like, the thing is, I don't say the N-word, but I can't control other people. But what I do know is, like, I'm going to have mixed kids. And when I have mixed kids, I'm going to raise them to be in an environment where they can control themselves around other people, because you can't control what other people say. And you can't, it's like she was basically just making excuses for him. And she was pretty much just saying, listen, I don't say the N-word, but I can't control what other people say. And I'm going to have mixed kids one day. And when I have mixed kids, I'm going to raise them in a way where they can control themselves and not get mad at other people for saying the N-word. That's pretty much what she said. And I get it. You cannot control what other people say. And even myself as a black woman, I have trained myself to not like flat out punch somebody if they say the N-word, because at the end of the day, that's only going to backfire on me as a black woman. But in her case, she just wanted an excuse to still continue to be friends with people who said the N-word. She still was friends with this man, still cool with this man, even after I had this conversation with her. So from her place, she wasn't coming from a place of like wanting the best for her mixed kids. She just really wanted to keep associating herself with white people who said the N-word. So that's really what it was. And I was just like, girl. So at that point, like, I didn't even want to talk to her about stuff like that no more, because clearly she wasn't hearing me. And speaking of the mixed kids, one thing about it, this girl will always talk about how she was going to have cute mixed kids. And almost every single day, she would show me pictures of celebrities and their mixed kids. And she would be like, oh my God, like, they're so cute. Like, she would even show me, like, you know, the basketball players and how they be dating a bunch of white women. She would show me their kids. And she would be like, oh my God, look at their kids. They're so cute. Like, I can't wait to have mixed kids because I want to do their hair. And I want to, like, feel their curly hair and all this stuff, like just being weird. And I'm like, girl, like, damn. But anyways, another instance that was kind of a huge red flag that I ignored was she had a friend that was Dominican and black. And she was super, super close with this girl. Like, she called this girl her best friend, literally. But she would talk crap about this girl to me all the time. Literally. She would post this girl on social media saying that this girl was her best friend, but then she would go to me talking crap about her. It was so weird. And one thing about it, one day, me and her were talking, and she starts comparing herself to her. She's like, do I have a bigger butt than her? Like, do you think my body's nicer than hers? Like, do you think my face is prettier than hers? Like, just constantly comparing herself to this girl. And I'm like, this girl is supposed to be your so-called best friend, but you're high-key in secret competition with this girl. And I would always tell her, like, girl, do not ever look at other people as competition. Like, just look at yourself. Like, don't look at what other people, like, you don't have to care about what other people think about you. And she would straight up be like, I know, but it's just like, I feel like every time I'm around this girl, people only pay attention to her and people only compliment her. And I feel like I don't get enough attention and people are just only like giving her attention and giving her compliments. And at that moment, I knew this girl had some deep-rooted issues and she was jealous of black women. Because it's like, how is your best friend a black girl? And you're coming to me telling me that this girl gets more attention than you and you don't like it. And you don't like that, you know, she has a nicer body than you when people compliment her more. Like, just like constantly putting herself in secret competition with her so-called best friend that happened to be black. And that's what a lot of non-black women do. A lot of non-black women that date black men or fetishize black men, they're in secret competition with black women. And they use black men to so-called win that competition. When really, girl, you're dating the black men that we don't want. So, girl, you're not winning no competition. You're dating the Dusties that we don't want. Okay, so it's really not even much to even talk about. But, so fast forward, okay? Me and this girl one day are walking in the hallway. And one of our black friends actually goes up to me and he tells me like, yo, I saw your mom and your sister at ShopRite and they are black as hell. And he was like, yo, like I thought you were dark, but your mom and your sister are really, really black. And I'm like, okay. And he just kept stressing the fact that my sister and my mom are super dark. And like he was really, really just trying to say it as if it was a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing. My mom and my sister are very beautiful. Yes, they are darker than me. And I am the lightest in my family. But like, I think I love my mom and my sister's complexion. Sometimes I wish I was as dark as them, honestly. So literally he's like making fun of it. And I'm over here looking at him like, okay, like what am I supposed to take from this comment? And Mia is in the background laughing. She's literally laughing while he's making fun of the fact that my mom and my sister are super dark. And I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be my friend, but you're sitting here laughing while this guy is making fun of my mom and my sister's skin complexion and making it seem like them being dark is a bad thing. Like, you're weird. You're weird!
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
And honestly, there were even instances where this girl had the audacity to even tell me that she was blacker than me. Like, she would say stuff like, oh, you really do talk like a white girl sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like I talk blacker than you. Like, that stuff would literally come out of her mouth. Literally. And I'd be like, okay. Like, okay.
Ew, don't bring up that...
But fast forward, we graduated high school, and when I graduated high school, I was one of the only people in my like little circle or whatever that went to like a big party school, okay? And she didn't go to like a party school or like a state school or anything like that. I think she went to like a community college or something. So one thing about it, like she would always go to my Instagram and she would see the new friends that I was making in college. And I went to Temple University. So when I went to Temple, like I really like connected with a lot of black people. Because one thing about Temple, I don't know if y'all know like how Temple is, but Temple is very much, it's not an HBCU, but it might as well be. Like Temple, we have a lot of white people, but we have like a large number of black people to the point where we are our own school. Like socially, Temple is like, we have white Temple and black Temple. And one thing about it, when I was at Temple, I had to go out of my way to really see white people. The only time I would see white people is in my classes, and that's about it. But like socially, like black Temple, we had our own thing going on. Like we were basically like our own little HBCU. Like it was like all black parties, like only black people socially, all that stuff. So I was making a lot of friends in Temple, and I was connecting with a lot of black people. And she would always go to my stories and she would always be like, oh my God, your friends like from college, they seem so pretty. Like I want to hang out with all of you guys. I want to hang out with you guys, and just always asking me to hang out. And I'm not going to lie, like I didn't let her hang out with us. I didn't, because one, it was like my friends from Temple, they weren't like, we weren't in high school anymore where we were in like that predominantly white school where certain shit would slide. My friends from Temple, like they were black people who stood on business just like me. So it's like they were not really going to fuck with her at all. Like they were not going to fuck with a white girl who's cosplaying as a hot Cheeto girl. Simple as that. So she would have asked me all the time like, oh, can I hang out with you and your friends? Like when I was in college, and I would just be like, yeah, but I never ever followed up and I never set something up. And also when we were in high school, she would always be going to parties. She would always get invited everywhere because, like, she was the white girl with the fat ass that everybody loved. So she was always getting invited places, and she would never invite me. Like, people would even talk about parties in front of me to her. Like, they would literally be like, yo, Mia, like, are you going to this party tonight? And she'd be like, yeah. And she would never think to invite me. So, like, throughout our whole entire friendship in high school, she never ever invited me anywhere. Like, literally never. Anytime she was invited somewhere, she never brought me. So I'm like, now that I'm in college and you see that I'm in a big school and I'm in a party school and you want to go to parties, and you see that, you know, I'm in Philly and I'm getting love in Philly and I'm getting like into sections for free and things like that. Now you want to kick it with me and you want me to invite you places. But when we were in high school, you did not invite me anywhere. Like, you were only pretty much just using me as your token black friend to say, so you could tell people that you weren't racist because you have a black boyfriend and you have a black friend, but like, you didn't actually care to invite me nowhere. So why would I invite you anywhere? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't invite her nowhere. Sorry. And basically we went like, we fell out. Like, we went a year without like really talking to each other, just because, like, for me, life got busy. Like, once I got to school, y'all know I graduated college 2 years early. So, like, I was literally working full time while taking like 20 credits a semester. I was trying to pursue a modeling career that did not pan out. And then I started social media as well. So I was very occupied in college. You feel me? So I didn't really have time to keep up with most friendships. It was very hard. The only friendships I could keep up with were the ones in college. And I left all my high school friendships behind. So one day I was coming back home from college, okay? And I texted her on Snapchat and I was like, hey girl, like, do you know any lash techs in the area? Cause I'm, you know, coming back home and I want to like get my lashes done. And this girl left me on open. So I'm like, that's weird. So I text her again. She left me on open. And I text her again and she left me on open. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, when we were in high school, you would literally borrow money from me. You would borrow my clothes. And you would literally drain me of my energy because she was in a toxic ass relationship with that black guy. And she would call me all the time to cry about it. So I'm just like, when we were in high school, you loved using me. But I'm asking you for a lash tech and you want to gatekeep and leave me on open? So at this point, I texted her like 7 times and she kept leaving me on open. And I kid you not, I blacked on her and I went off. I went off on her and I read that girl for filth. I literally told her, like, first of all, like, you're weird as hell. Like, when we were in high school, you were using me all the time. You were asking me to borrow money all the time, asking me to borrow my clothes all the time. But I asked you for a lash tech once and you leaving me on open repeatedly. Like, what are you gatekeeping a lash tech for? Like, that's weird. You're gatekeeping a lash tech? You don't want a bitch to look pretty? Like, what are you gatekeeping a lash tech for? It's that easy to just send me the link, especially after everything that I did for you, for real. Like, that's so weird. And it's like, girl, I feel like you're just mad because when we left high school, I started, you know, blowing up on social media. And when we were in high school, you were the most popular girl because you were the white girl with a fat ass. And when you got into the real world, you realized that being a white girl with a fat ass don't mean shit when you have an ugly ass face. Because it's a lot of girls who are white with a fat ass and pretty faces. So you walked into the real world and you realized that the hype that you were getting in our PWI doesn't match the hype that you would get in the real world. And you started seeing me get actual hype in the real world because I started blowing up on social media. And when it comes to like college life, I was getting invited to so many parties and I was at a lot of celebrity parties. I was at, like, you know, getting invited to a lot of clubs and getting free sections and stuff. And you hated to see that from me because that wasn't happening for you. And you know what? You're a weird ass bitch. You're jealous and I hope you fucking die in a hole.
Oh, what? Wait! Huh? Girl.
And, you know, maybe it was mean, but I don't give a fuck. And one thing about it, this girl had her black boyfriend text me from her phone telling me that he's gonna jump me. And I'm like, why can't you jump me? Why you got your black boyfriend in a bitch's business? Like, it's me and you having an argument, but you got your black boyfriend involved. So you want to cosplay as a black woman so bad And you want to gatekeep a lash text so bad. But then when I confront you and I come with all the smoke, what are you doing? You getting your whole black boyfriend to text me and threaten me. You have a black man threatening a black woman on the behalf of your weird ass. Okay. So she ended up blocking me on everything, as she should have, because one thing about it, bitch, I would have, girl, we don't even want to take it right there. But she blocked me on everything after that. And she basically, I don't know what she did, but she got everybody against me from our high school. Everybody from our high school literally started hating me right after I said that to her. Like, I kid you not. I had one guy friend. Me and him were really, really close. This one hurt me the most. Me and him were very, very close. And his ass just was acting weird towards me and was telling me he ain't want to kick it with me no more. He ain't want to be friends with me no more. And it was so weird because, like, when I was in college, my friends would tell me that he was weird and he wasn't real. And I would defend him all the time. Like, no, like, we're good friends. Like, he's really nice to me. All this stuff. And as soon as me and Mia had this little argument and she blocked me on everything, he suddenly was like, don't talk to me. Da, da, da. And I'm like, that's funny. That's funny. Because the thing is, you listening to Mia, I knew it was Mia that said something. Because it was just weird that everybody from my high school suddenly started unadding me on everything, suddenly started unfollowing me on everything as soon as I got into this argument with this girl. And I knew she said something. And I don't know what she could have said, but this girl was a liar. Like, she was literally a pathological liar. So I know she told these people some lies about me to make them turn against me just because I told her off, pretty much. So she got one of my closest guy friends against me. And the funny thing about this man is Mia tried to set him up so much. Like, bro, oh my God. When we were in high school, this guy, literally, he had an ex-girlfriend that he was dating for years, right? And Mia was friends with this girl. And when we had homecoming, I kid you not, Mia was trying to bring his ex-girlfriend to our homecoming without him knowing so he could feel uncomfortable. And he was literally going to go to our homecoming until I warned him about it. And I told him, yo, Mia's trying to bring your ex to homecoming. So I just want to let you know, like, she was trying to surprise you so you could be caught off guard and be uncomfortable on your big night. So I just want to let you know now, like, Mia's trying to bring your ex-girlfriend here. Like, I was being thorough as hell for warning him about that because I know how that relationship affected him. And I know if he saw her at that homecoming, he would have felt mad uncomfortable and he wasn't ready to be around that bitch. So I told him about it and he ended up not going to our homecoming because of it. Because Mia brought his ex-girlfriend there. So it's like, it's crazy how you're listening to a girl tell you all this bad stuff about me when she tried to set you up and I tried to save your ass. But now, bitch, now he can never get access to me. So that's what it is. You wanted to listen to a weird bitch. Now you could go kick it with the weird bitch. Fuck that. Like, now you can't kick it with me no more. And he probably realized later on in his life that she was a weird bitch. Because one thing about it, a lot of people that say they don't like Shakira, I kid you not, it's because they listen to a hating ass bitch tell them some lies about me just for them to later realize that bitch they were listening to was a weirdo. Literally. Like, I've had so many people literally dislike me without even knowing me like that. Simply because they wanted to believe negative things about me based on something that somebody else said. And then later on, they realized the person they were listening to was the real weirdo. And at that point, they try to reconnect with me and try to be cool with me. And I just be like, it ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. Because you didn't have to believe that person when they were telling you all them lies about me. But you wanted to believe something negative. So now you could stay over there with that shit. And you learned for yourself that you were listening to a weird bitch. So.
Clock it.
But a lesson to take from this, y'all. If you are in high school or even if you're in college and you go to a predominantly white school, I just want you to know it gets better. It gets better. You may feel alone and you may feel like you just want to be friends with anybody that talks to you, but still be picky with your energy. Do not let anybody just become friends with you because you're desperate for friends because you feel so alone in that environment, okay? Like, one thing about it, being somebody's token black friend, it's not worth it because they will use you so that they can say that they're not racist and so they can be close in proximity to blackness, but they won't actually care about you, okay? They will let people say the N-word in front of you. They will dog you out. And most importantly, they will disrespect you as well, okay? So if you are in a predominantly white school, I promise you, I know you feel alone, but it does get better. And when you enter the real world, everything changes, okay? High school is a small fake reality. And even college is a small fake reality. It is not the real world, okay? The real world is completely different from those two environments. So do not feel like you are less than, or do not feel like you have to be desperate for friends to the point where you're becoming friends with white people who genuinely do not care about you. Okay? Because that's only going to hurt you in the end. And you don't want that to happen. Okay? You need to be picky with your energy. And one thing about it, when you leave high school or you leave college, these same people that are probably making fun of you are going to try to be cool with you. And it's you better reserve your energy and not even let them get an ounce of that. Okay? Because one thing about it, I know all of my bullies tried to be friends with me after high school. It was so weird. And do not feel like you are crazy for standing on business or for standing on morals, okay? Just because you're the only person defending yourself when people say the N-word, or you're the only person defending yourself when it comes to racism or colorism in those types of environments, do not think that you are crazy, and don't let people silence you. Speak up about it. I don't care if you're the only one speaking up, okay? Because that was me in high school, literally. I was the only one defending racism and colorism. There was black people who let it slide and white people who would just say the N-word and do whatever they wanted. And I looked crazy. But at the end of the day, guess who came out on top? All right? And you don't need to compromise your morals for low quality people, because that's what they are. And a lot of these people, they do not go far in life. A lot of the racist white people in my high school, they did not go far in life at all. Literally, they're still in the same spot that they were when we left high school. Okay? So I hope that, you know, my young dark-skinned girls out there, if you are listening, just know that you are not alone. I am here. And I also do speak to people on Instagram. Like, I have a few dark-skinned girls in high school that I frequently check up on, like monthly, just to give them advice, and I really do not mind. So if you are in high school and you're a dark-skinned girl, just a black girl in general, and you go to a PWI and you feel alone and you don't have anybody to turn to, and maybe you have immigrant parents like myself, and you can't really talk to them about these things, shoot me a DM. I will definitely answer, and I will be here for you, okay? Like, I am not that type of YouTuber. Like, we are a family, and we are going through this together, okay? Like, I'm not gonna act like Hollywood or anything. You guys are literally, like, my backbone. I love you guys so much, and I treat you guys like you're my family. So if you are going through something, or you're not okay, or you feel alone in a PWI, or you feel like there's a lot of racism and colorism hitting you and you don't know how to handle it, turn to my page. But also, if you need somebody to talk to, I am here, okay? Like, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I really don't mind. I really, really don't. I don't care if you send me 10 million audio messages. I do not care. Like, I don't care. Talk to me, okay? Because I know what it's like to be alone, and I wish I had somebody to talk to when I was younger going through this stuff, okay? And I don't want you guys to be gaslighted or to feel like you're crazy, because when you're in an environment like that, people will gaslight you so much to the point where you'll feel like you're crazy for just having a normal mind or being a normal black person who stands on business. Like, you'll feel like you're crazy, literally, and you're not crazy. And I'm here to tell you that. And if you need me, shoot me a DM. I'm serious. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. This is one of Many to come, because let me tell you, I have been through it. I have been through it, okay? I have a lot of stories. So, other than that, I do love you guys so much, and thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers. Like, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. But I really love you guys so much. Like, the support is insane, and like, you guys are really my backbone. Like, it's so crazy how much you guys support me, and like when I'm having my crying episodes and stuff like that, you guys are always there for me, always saying the right things. And just know that I see you, I hear you, I see all of your nice messages, your supportive messages, and I just thank you guys so much. I'm so thankful for you guys. You have no idea. Like, you have no idea. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry, but I have makeup on. I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Besos.